Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 4, episode 12. We're in Hawaii. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be a blast.
I want to be in Hawaii. I was just thinking about how you were there recently.
They were in Oahu, which I've also been to before, but a little different. But they look like, I was like, oh, I want to go back. I want to be in the sun. I want to do it all.
Beautiful.
Oh, I love it. But this is one of the most memorable trips, I think, that Vanderpump does.
I agree.
So I'm very excited.
Me too.
But check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, which also includes Winter House, and One Season Wonders, the show where Meredith and I pick a show that only has one season and talk about it. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. We have no new reviews, but we do have one new rating, which I think was a 5-star because it took us from it filled up our 4th star completely. So we now have a total of 4 stars.
Come on, do it right now, please. Give me one.
The 5 stars. Join our Facebook group. It's the same name as the podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. We always post any kind of Bravo news that relates to our podcast, so beware. And then join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I catch up about whatever we want. And you get access to any episodes that we record early, including this one. So if you are listening to this live on the podcast, wow, I don't even know where we are at this time. Do we have a new president? Is the world over? Like, where have we released this?
Technically, it could be that many years in the future.
Yeah, we have no idea where you're listening to this. We are currently in 2022. So shout out from the past.
They're going to get this in 2022 as well.
We are in March of 2022. Shout out from the past. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after show. But since we're doing these episodes spoiler free, we are not going to mention anything that happens in future seasons.
Yeah. So from now until season 7, we get an after show.
So if you want to hear about Bravo news, keep up to date, hear our opinions, this is the place to do it. Also, we will say your name on the podcast, and we have new patrons, so the list got a little longer.
I'm so happy.
Let me tell you about it. So thank you to Ashley, Chris, Courtney, Danae, Dustin, Jackie, Kimberly, Tiffany, Tracy, Emily, Gina, Jennifer, Kelsey, Mariah, Sarah, and Zoe.
Snaps all around.
Welcome. You guys won't regret this.
Oh my God.
I don't think. We don't lose a ton of patrons, so I don't think you'll regret it.
No, well, the only time you'll regret it is if Alicia and I just somehow kick it and we're no longer here.
Yeah, if we die, you'll regret it.
It's like, I think it's so fun, the little community we have. So come join us.
So
and thank you to everybody who's a part of it.
And also, feel free to come. I read every notification that comes through on the Patreon. So be sure, if you have a thought from one of our pre-shows, comment on the pre-show. If you have a thought from an after show, comment on the after show. Slide into our Instagram DMs. We read all those too.
Yeah.
Get involved with us.
We need to start putting our initials on stuff because
I have no idea.
Sometimes we pick up each other's conversations.
But I've done it and I've just pretended to finish it off.
Same. So I'm like,
okay,
I am Alicia.
10 out of 10. We're the same person. We're 12-year-olds and a 27-year-old.
Sometimes once I've responded as if I was coming from you because I knew they probably wanted to DM you.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to start, no one will ever know.
I'm like, all right, Alicia's point of view.
I love that. I'm going to start doing that too, actually. Instead of telling you when I'm
going to just start signing it.
A&M. Okay, so then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we do live shows, you get we ask for your opinions, your questions, your comments, and we will read them on our show. We're trying to figure out a way because I don't know the status of Vanderpump or, to be honest, Summer House in the future because we have no idea how long Bravo shows really go on for. So maybe we'll pull you in at $5 patrons for something else we do. We don't know. Keep waiting. We'll come up with something. And then also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week, I'm gonna pick someone that went from $2 to $5 recently.
Oh my
Our
God.
girl Danae. She is upping it
Yay.
up. I know she wants to give us her
I was about to say,
opinions.
and
Girl,
like the post shows. Oh, she already got the post shows, but just becoming more dedicated, and I love it.
I think that's the way, is like you stick at $2, and then when live shows happens, you up it to $5. So you give us all the opinions.
And she's
then you go
constantly
back
in the
to 2.
DMs. I love it.
Oh, she's always in the DMs. It's fantastic. Slide
I
in our
love hearing
DMs.
people's thoughts.
I do too, because we always say it. We have the same thoughts, and it's kind of frustrating.
But I just love this stuff so much. Like I could literally for 24 hours straight talk about these shows.
I love this. Okay, let's get into the podcast though. So previously on Vanderpump Rules, Lala got topless in Lisa's pool. Max fucked up his teeth, but we're going to go to Hawaii for Jackson Sandoval's birthday. But there's a whole thing that Kristen can't come to Hawaii. James somehow managed to get an invite. Then Scheana pulled Ariana aside and told her that Ariana's mom reached out to Scheana about that, how Ariana is now different. Lala and Jax flirt a lot, but Jax has a girlfriend but didn't tell Lala or really anyone. And then he kind of told Brittany that Lala's the one hitting on him, which is kind of wrong. So now we're going to Hawaii with everyone besides Kristen. So what could go wrong?
A pressure cooker.
I'm so excited. So we're in Honolulu, Hawaii. They all got laid when they landed. Haha, I hate the joke.
I hate when reality TV shows do that.
So it's Jackson Sandoval's birthdays, but Schwartz and Katie just got engaged, so they're gonna have their engagement celebration. Schwartz though has not been laid. This flower is the only thing that has laid him in a very long time.
And what did he say? It's been like 10 days
since before the engagement.
I know, but like it's been 10 days since the engagement.
Oh God,
I think so. Like this, we also haven't celebrated this moment. Like
so maybe in Hawaii we'll get laid for real. This was the only part I've watched twice because I was freaking out. So as they're getting their shit from the airport, Jax thought that Katie was Brittany and grabbed Katie's ass.
Like a nice squeeze.
Horrifying. I was Katie was like, excuse me?
And she was like, I feel violated. And I feel that. I don't understand how he made this mistake. I looked at their like clothing.
They were different.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brittany was in like a pink, striped thing,
like a dress.
Yes, and Katie was in gray
leggings or something.
Katie was in like a gray dress, but they were very clearly different colors. I don't know how he made this mistake, and like their hair is so different.
I don't know, but he did it in front of Schwartz and Brittany.
Schwartz was sitting right next to Katie,
and Brittany was like, "What just happened?" And Jax did look horrified at least, but he's like, I thought that and Katie's like, he just grabbed my ass.
He just like, it was just careless. It wasn't like malicious, but he's just careless.
But I've never noticed that before, and it was horrifying to watch.
I didn't like it.
I literally wrote barf. Did he even say sorry? Because he didn't. He was just like, oh my God, I did that.
He like doubled over and was like, ah.
he just laid down and died right there. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So now we're at the modern Honolulu. That's the hotel they're staying at. But so this trip is basically all couples, so they're all staying together, except I think Lala and Faith and James and Max, who are all couples anyway, but they're staying separately for now.
I mean, they're not like really solidified like the other couples.
They could have stayed. I mean, I probably wouldn't.
The girls didn't want to do that. Yeah,
I probably wouldn't either. Ariana and Tom Sandoval have 2 balconies. Lots of fun. And there's all the rooms have this, and I don't understand, but there's like a window that you can see into the shower.
Oh, the like blinds thing. Like that is just so weird.
I thought they were kind of funny. I mean, they made a joke about it. It's very light.
You know what's funny is Love is Blind had something similar whenever, maybe it wasn't Love is Blind. No, it wasn't Love is Blind. I was watching Married at First Sight, and they had these like door things that you could open it. And I was like, can you imagine being with a stranger And like you
Oh,
just got married and you're like, can we close these, please?
please don't look at me
So
while
I
I
think I'm
shower.
coming from like that frame of reference of like,
This is Sandoval being like, I've been dating you for years. How are you? And she's
and
gonna be
Schwartz
like,
being
stop.
like, please have
Yeah,
sex with me.
Schwartz is please.
Let me
But
in there.
everyone loves their rooms. Brittany, Jack, Scheana, and Shay decide to get some drinks. They're all really sad Kristen isn't here, but Scheana tells Jax that we shouldn't be fighting this trip with cough cough James.
God, I'm like,
Got
let it
it?
go. Kristen isn't here, and James is like, let bygones be bygones.
No, they can't. They can't. We're all sad. We're all missing Kristen so much.
How did we get here? How is like
I don't really
we are like so sad in a corner having a drink in Hawaii thinking about Kristen? Like,
Literally.
really? Are we really here right now?
When I was in Hawaii, I didn't think about Kristen at all. So
That is not true. I'm pretty sure we recorded an episode. Oh
we
wait,
did
just
a
of Summer House.
So Lala and Faith, they love their room too, but James loves Lala. So he's hoping to really hit it off with her because they mostly hit it off on the airplane so far, which was high
Okay.
key gross if I'm on this
Yes.
airplane.
I was
They
like,
were like-
wait, this is not fun.
They were like humping on the seat, and then he asked her to go to the bathroom, and that's where she drew the line. At
But
that
here's the
point,
thing
like
is, I think Lala's just accepting his affection. I don't think she's like James is the aggressor in
James
this.
is definitely the
And Lala's
aggressor.
just letting it happen. Like, I don't think Lala wants to be doing that on a plane.
But I would be like, get the fuck off me.
I'd be like, can somebody switch seats with me, please?
This man won't stop
I
licking my face.
I want to like sleep and close my eyes
Ugh,
and like listen to something. Like, I don't want you making out with me, especially because
On
there's a
an
million
airplane.
strangers watching.
yeah, we're not doing this.
No.
But Lala is worried about the Brittany thing, which is basically her flirting with Jax and Jax flirting with her, and Brittany not knowing a damn thing about it, but maybe she does, but maybe she only knows Jax's side.
Well, it's just stressful because that conversation's coming to a head. So I think Lala's confident in her position, and I believe she's like gonna apologize and like do the right thing. But I think it's just like, this is gonna be so awkward. Like, when is this conversation gonna happen? Because like Lala's not gonna be like, hey, can we chat about how like I was flirting with your boyfriend?
Yeah, 100%. So then we go to Tom and Ariana's room. Tom has the fanciest straightener I've ever seen. As someone who used to straighten her hair every day,
This
this
baby
thing's
gets up
ridiculous.
in like 19 seconds to 200 degrees Celsius. I'm like,
Literally
cares?
so weird.
who cares about all those stats?
But Ariana, as Tom's geeking out over his straightener, Ariana shares that her mom sent her screenshots of her, like her and Scheana's convo.
Ooh.
And we don't see it, but Ariana's mom said, and I quote, hey, in your opinion, do you think she's in a good place? Which that text alone makes me seem like Scheana texted her like, hi, Mrs. Maddox, that blah, blah, blah. I think Ariana's different. And then she responds with, hey, in your opinion, do you think she's in a good place?
Yes,
right.
And let's remember when you said previously on that the way Scheana went to Ariana with it was like, your mom thinks you're different, but it's Scheana saying that stuff.
Yeah, right.
It's like her mom asking questions like, oh, wait, what's going on? And then like Scheana like teeing up this answer. And then when she talks to Ariana saying that her mom said whatever Scheana actually said.
Yeah. So then Scheana responds with, honestly, she's different since being with him. Tom will always look out for himself first, which is just like, why are we texting someone's mom?
I know. I don't really like Tom that much. I'm going to be very honest. Like I don't go hard for him is all I'm going to say. Like, I love a lot of other people more, but I do think he's a really generous person who really cares about his friends. I think if there's like a cutthroat situation, like you versus him and like a disagreement at work, like, yeah, of course you're going to look out for yourself, but won't everybody?
Yeah.
But in life, like he's a very generous person who has a lot of emotions and thinks about other people.
Yeah. And like, first off, Ariana seems pretty independent, that she doesn't need anyone really looking out for her, right? She doesn't need Tom to like, Tom can look out for himself first, if that's fine, because Ariana's going to look out for herself.
That's so true.
And then two, Tom has literally given so much help to Shay and your
Yes.
marriage.
Remember when he came over and like taught them how to make breakfast?
Like, are you insane? Like, where the hell is this coming
You know
from?
what? I think Scheana looks at their relationship and it isn't the one she wants. So she's like, there's a problem here. Like, he's not like
Probably
bowing down to her. And she, because I think Scheana wants Shay to be like her servant, or like she's the one who wears the pants. And the fact that Tom and Ariana are so independent and just do whatever they want while like being considerate of each other isn't what Scheana wants in her relationship. So she's like, this isn't right.
She wants everyone to look out for Scheana first in the relationship, but Tom and Ariana just get themselves first, and then in respect to each other.
Like clearly there's
it's like
a friendship
equal
shift here between Scheana and Ariana. And so it's like, well, there's a problem here. Like, you're not treating me right. And it's like, well, that doesn't mean their relationship's off. I think they're just backing away from you.
Whose relationship is on the rocks right now?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So Scheana's just trying to come for their relationship. Part of me was like, does Scheana kind of wish that Sandoval was maybe still with Kristen? Is there a part
that? No, I think Scheana doesn't like how her friendship is with Ariana and blames it on Tom.
But can you imagine if in a weird confessional she was like, I wish Kristen was still dating Sandoval, because that's not looking out for Sandoval's best interest.
Well, I think the way we would get that is like, well, when like Sandoval was with Kristen, we didn't have these problems.
Okay, for all of us, Sandoval and Kristen cannot date again. But yeah, if Scheana's so worried, why doesn't she come talk to Ariana and Sandoval? And also Ariana and Sandoval have done so much for Scheana and Shay, and it's rude. So they're like very pissed off. Ariana wants to address it with Scheana, and here's what she has to say. But they're only in Hawaii for 3 days. So we'll see. Also, that doesn't seem long enough to be in Hawaii.
I wonder how this like timing actually worked out. Like, was it actually this quick? Because that would suck to go on a trip and now you're like, I'm out at my best friend. I don't really want to have this conversation on vacation, but if I don't have it on vacation, I'm just going to be like pissed off the whole time.
Yeah. Also, I did think about, this is why it makes sense that Max got to go, because he doesn't have to see his doctor until Friday. So it like makes sense that they're only here for 3 days.
Yes.
Case,
yeah. It's like,
guys were wondering,
Monday,
last
Tuesday,
episode,
Wednesday.
I was very caught up in this.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're at dinner. Speaking of Max, he like can't talk that well, but he's at dinner. So don't worry. Sandoval tells us about some activities he's planned for the next few days, because
he like stands up and gives an announcement.
He is a planner. Tomorrow he's gonna take everyone on a hike. He's gonna be the guide. Unfortunately,
which that's why I feel like he lost people.
Yeah, we're gonna die in the wilderness. But unfortunately, Max can't go because of his mouth. So him and James are gonna hang back and just chill.
Everybody's like giving their
excuses.
An
excuse. Yeah, that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scheana just doesn't want to go on the hike. So she's just going to go on the beach. So her and Shay are done. And then Katie will eventually get out of it. So only so many people are going. But then we also have surf lessons planned. So it's going to be a fun time. Mm-hmm. Peter's enjoying himself, getting the vacation he finally deserves.
He needs some time off from managing these hooligans.
The girls do a fun, like, hula lesson. Ariana and Scheana seem fine. Mm-hmm. They're putting their differences aside.
We're not doing this at the table. If there's something Sheena's great at, it's putting on a face and pretending everything's perfect.
She's a good faker. Ariana makes a toast to the birthday guys. It's very sweet. And then while it's happening, James is trying to make out with Lala at the dinner table.
Oh my God.
Which, like, first off, if I'm Max, I'm pissed because this is right where I'm eating.
I'm like, why are we doing this at a table?
Super weird. But Jack sees and he gets super upset. Like way more upset than you would be if like you were Max and just like, ew, I'm trying to eat. Can you like out?
Outside of the annoyance that this is happening at the table. This was like I can't believe you're kissing her.
He was mad, like Brittany, and even Brittany was like, what's wrong? So Jax just says he wishes other people were here because there are some people that are here that don't deserve to be. So he's starting the drama, and then James, of course, is like, "What'd you say?" And so they
Well, he's
start
like, say
arguing.
names. Like, if don't just like drop
Say
these little
names.
hints, like say the full thing. And he's like, no, I don't want to start drama. And I hate people who do that, who are like,
Yeah.
wow, some people really shouldn't be here. And it's like,
Oh,
if you're
actually, it
really
was
gonna start
Lala.
that,
It was Lala who was like, "Excuse me, who are you talking about?" And he's like, "I'm not gonna say." So yeah, you're right. She was like, "Say names." Jax yells down then and says, "Control your lady down there." And Lala gets pissed because she's not
you
about
know
to be
what?
controlled.
If there was a shot in hell that Jax was ever gonna sleep with Lala, he just shut it down right then
Yeah.
and there.
Honestly, I'd be pissed about this, whether we're about to sleep together or not.
Yeah, no,
Like,
you don't tell a man to control me.
yeah,
You
you're
tell me to
not,
shut the
no.
fuck up if you want me to shut up, but I'm
So
gonna tell you
then
no.
Lala's like, or maybe it was James, I don't remember, but Brittany better control her man. How about that? 10 out of 10.
Brittany's like, I like, who are you, Jax?
Brittany's
She is
I'm
like,
dead.
she's probably
She
never
left.
seen like a situation like this. She does not know who Jax is.
So this is when James gets involved and he's like, "You're not going to talk to us like that. Like, no way." And Jax and James are like weirdly competing for this alpha spot, which we all know Tom Sandoval's number one guy in the group. He planned the Hawaii trip. Okay.
Listen, Jax is the one who said James could come. So
Yeah.
he
Don't
needs to
bitch
just
about it.
sit with his decision. Yeah, it's your fault he's here now. So like, let it be.
Literally. So Max and James go to have a cigarette.
Which like good for them
Everyone,
for just walking away.
yes. So then everyone's sitting, everyone goes to sit in this place called the study, which is basically the bar, because dinner is now over.
Yeah, this is what always confuses me about reality TV is I'm like, wait a minute, when did we eat?
Dinner's done. Right after that screaming match, we're like, "But should we grab a drink at this, the bar downstairs?" So we all go. Jax, Sandoval, and Schwartz sit down with James and Max because I guess this is where they went to go have a cig. And Jax starts out with, "I don't like you, but maybe we should just coexist." And James is like,
God.
"Ditto." So like, that's fun.
Yeah, we'll see how this
go wrong.
I was about to say we'll see how this continues to go.
So then Sandoval, Ariana, Scheana, and Shay all sit and talk. And Sheena's talking about how they're still not going to go on this hike because they're going to do the gym and then the beach, which honestly, I'd rather go on a hike than go to the gym on vacation.
Same.
Like, I know.
Same. Like, let's get out of our hotel and see beautiful things.
No, we could just sit on a beach after being in the hotel
I could just look out the hotel gym window to the palm trees and it's basically the same thing.
Absolutely not. So then Sandoval is the one that brings up Ariana's mom and the text messages. And Scheana says, "It's not anything to be concerned over." Which, like, if it wasn't anything to be concerned over, don't text my mom. But okay.
Well, they have the text messages. They've already told you. So like, I feel like Scheana thinks they don't know what she said though. She's like, it's no big deal.
Yeah. So when Ariana drops, like, "My mom sent the screenshot," Scheana looks a little worried. And then they quote one of the texts that says, "He's very good at convincing her of what he wants. She just goes along with it. I just think her attitude has changed since they've been together." Which, like, ma'am, Ariana's not doing anything she doesn't want to do.
But like, even if that is the truth, can you imagine your friend saying like that to your mom?
No. Because I'm not friends with these types of people. My God.
I just like having that read aloud, you'd think Scheana would be like, "I'm just concerned about you," or like trying to like defend why she said it. But Sheena's just like, what's the problem? Like that, it's true. You do suck,
just expressing my concern. So then Scheana just says that Ariana isn't the same from a few years ago. And I'm like, "Scheana, neither the fuck are you. Okay. A few years ago, Katie hated you. Everyone wanted to punch your guts out.
It's like, actually you who's different."
And then Scheana says Ariana's just negative, to which Ariana responds with, "Good." Good.
I love that. Like, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not different. That's been me the whole time. I don't like things and I say it.
I know. So then Ariana is mostly upset because, Sandoval's been a good friend and like she's trying to stick up for her partner who's helped her best friend and her partner. And Sandoval says, I've been a good friend to you. And Scheana says, so have I. Like, now we're in a
But I'm
contest
like,
of some
we're
sort.
not talking about you. We're talking about me. So like, what is you being a good friend to me mean anything?
So
Like you've attacked my character and
I
I'm trying to
know.
prove that I don't suck. So why are you talking about you?
Yeah, we have nothing to say about Scheana.
Yeah, we don't need you to be brought up in your character
Don't
because it hasn't
defend
been brought
your
up.
character.
Yeah.
So let me quote another text that says he has this attitude that he's better than everything and it's rubbing off on her the wrong way. And she just stands by it. She says, as a couple, they think they're better than everything.
Hey, here's the funny thing is like towards the end of this like little like sit down, Scheana will say, I'm sorry. And then she'll say, oh, I said what I said. I'm not going to apologize for it. But she keeps saying sorry.
Yeah,
with
sorry
it.
for saying that, but I'm
But I'm
not
not
going
going
to
to apologize. And I'm like, I'm sorry. You can't do both.
So then this is where my man Shay gets a voice and he backs Scheana. He says that they do have an attitude.
But I think Shay's trying like, oh, I can be a really good husband here and I can back my wife. So I feel like Shay's like, okay, cool. I'm going to win some points for being a good husband because I'm going to defend my wife.
Yeah. The dude that really helped me through my anxiety and my drug problem and all of that, who stood by me and convinced Scheana to give me a second chance. I'm going to fucking ruin him right now.
But you have to stand by your wife. Like, Shay doesn't say specific things. He's just like, listen, like he just like says vague things about how like.
Yeah, I think I was just a little disappointed because Scheana and Sandoval are both kind of hotheads, right? So they're kind of raising their voices and arguing. Ariana's still super cool as an ice cube, and she's like, "This is what you said, and I'm just calling you out." Like she's very level-headed.
Yeah.
And then Shay starts to get a little heated, and I was like, "No, my dude, cool it back." You gotta separate.
If he didn't step up, he would have gotten reamed by Scheana in the hotel room.
Ass.
Yeah,
I know.
He's like, survival of the fittest. I have to defend my wife so I can survive another day here in Hawaii.
You're right. He's just trying to make it through the day.
I just want to have a good day, so I need to support my wife, even though she's batshit crazy.
Who am I sleeping next to tonight? That's who I'm going to defend. Okay, got it. I just need to get.
And he's
to
like
sleep.
Secretly like, Sandoval, can I sleep in your bed? No.
Do you want to cuddle?
Okay, Scheana's right. Scheana's right.
Yeah, Scheana. So Scheana tells them to get over it, which makes Ariana so upset that Scheana can't admit what she did was wrong. And Scheana says that Ariana's just trying to be sassy and putting words into her mouth. And Ariana goes, we're reading them.
We have your exact words. We're not putting words in your mouth. We're quoting you.
And then Scheana responds,
doesn't know how to have a good argument, is all I'm going to say.
I'm not going to apologize, but I'm sorry that you're putting words in my mouth by reading my exact text messages. Like, exactly.
She does that string like 7 times where she's like, I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to apologize. I said what I said. And I'm like, what?
And then she goes, does the truth hurt? And
I'm like, Scheana, it's not the truth. That's your opinion.
Ma'am. Yeah, literally.
And the truth is that you said those words.
So Sandoval, our sensitive soul, feels betrayed, and that's why he is the most hurt. So Scheana then leaves and kind of apologizes again, but doesn't mean it because she believes what she said. This is where I wrote it. I was like confused. But Ariana's just upset. She's just sitting there, right? Sandoval is standing yelling with Shay now. Scheana has left the building. Shay is trying to defend his wife.
But then he abandons it. And then he's like, I just gotta walk away.
He's like, stop yelling at me. Scheana's not here anymore. Goodbye. And Ariana does not even get up. She is seated and she does not feel like wasting her energy.
Here's my thing is, I don't think Sandoval's qualities have rubbed off. I think what Scheana said is accurate for a lot of things about Sandoval, but not to the harshest degree. Like, I do think he is self-centered and really cares about himself. Yeah. And, like he has those qualities that Scheana wrote, but you don't go to somebody, your like best friend's mother to say shitty things about their boyfriend. And they haven't rubbed off on Ariana. Ariana is a very strong person who is who she is.
Mm-hmm. And I think if I'm really worried that like my friend's significant other isn't putting her first, I would go to my friend and be like, I just want to make sure you're aware in this relationship. I feel like you deserve more. Yep. And if she says, I don't want more, like, I don't think Ariana needs Tom to be like, hey babe, whatever I'm going to do is going to be based off you. I think Ariana would hate that.
And if a conversation ever did happen with a mom or like a parent, I feel like it would, if someone, a friend who actually cared about this situation would be like, if a mom asks like, hey, how is she? I personally would not shy away from the conversations we've had. And I'd be honest, being like, I've shared concern with like your daughter, but I think you need to talk to her yourself. You know,
Yeah,
like
I
I've had
don't
my
know
own conversations
enough.
with her about where I think
Yeah.
things have changed. And I am a little concerned about her and her relationship, but like we've talked about that privately. So like
Yeah.
I would encourage you to express those to her yourself.
There's just a lot of overstepping and then not realizing that you did something wrong, but kind of apologizing for
Yeah.
it, but also not meaning
Do you
it.
think she was projecting here?
A little bit. That's the other thing that kind of angers me is like, ma'am, your relationship needs all your attention. I don't know why you're focusing on someone else's
Because
relationship right
if
now.
you read all of Scheana's things that she said about Tom, I think that's how she feels about Shay. Like Shay puts himself first,
He
and
is. He put a ton of their money in drugs. He ignored Scheana
mhm.
for a really long time. I agree. I think
And she
that's a
probably
good
feels like
point
she's changed because of like in their
of the
relationship.
relationship. Yeah.
Like think she can't just be like a partner with him. She has to be like his mom. And she probably hates that.
She's forcing him to fucking drink. They're not
We'll get
partners.
there. We'll get
They're
there.
I'm livid. Anyway, okay, so we then go back to LA. We're in Villa Rosa. Lisa and Ken are just hanging out with their dogs.
Lisa's like, I
And
just showered and her hair's like blow dried. And I'm like,
yeah, it's
what? Just because
beautiful.
you're wearing a robe doesn't tell us you just showered.
Hi, I just showered after glam. So then Lisa is dying to call Max, but Ken is like, he's in Hawaii for 3 days, he's fine.
He's fine.
And Lisa's like, no, he's got to take his meds. And then Ken does the worst and he goes,
Lisa, I wonder if he's taking his antibiotics. I'm like, oh my God. Moms with their sons, I'm like, can't they manage their own pills?
Ken also doesn't make it better by saying, you don't have to worry, James is there.
Max is more reliable
like,
if he's on his own.
Yeah, Lisa's like, what's that gonna do? We don't want James to influence Max.
Yeah.
But I really think that Max would never be influenced by James. I think if anything, he would just leave James to do dumb things.
Well, I feel like Max would just get it by association. Like he'd get into like trouble because James is being a loudmouth. So it's like they get kicked out of a club together because he's with James.
True.
So it's not like he did the act, but he has the repercussions of different things.
Do you think any of the Sir cast would fight with Max because of James, or do you think they kind of leave Max out of it?
Especially with Max's like injury, I think definitely not, because that's your boss's kid. If something happens to him, you're screwed.
Your boss loves that kid almost as much as Pandora. Jiggy. So almost as much as her dog.
Yeah. That like I think they would legit, like I would be scared as the friend if I ever like hit Max or did anything, that I'd get sued.
Yeah. Oh,
like they have power behind them to like even sue you like for assault.
Oh, Jax takes off his chunky sweater to fight in the parking lot. Max would not move a muscle. He'd be like,
Lisa
come at
would
me.
Be pissed.
Furious. Okay, good point. I was just wondering. Okay, so we're back in the modern hotel. James and Max have 2 beds, but Faith and Lala don't. Very fun. Cuddles. Peter he brought his Speedos for the pool. Sarah is not happy about it, but she's gonna deal with it. James really wants to get laid, but he can't get laid if Faith is there and Max's teeth hurt. So Max is fucking like, selfish.
Please leave me out of this plan. Like I'm into hooking up with Faith when my face isn't fucked up.
No, we gotta get laid. So Jax, Brittany, Scheana, and Shay hit up the gym while Katie and Schwartz lay in bed. That's more the vacation vibe, if you ask me, but whatever. So when Katie was sleeping, Schwartz actually set up a tripod on the balcony and took a picture of himself in the nude to copy Justin Bieber, because this is when Bieber's naked photos on his balcony on vacation came out.
I didn't ever see this photo from Bieber.
I knew it existed. I didn't see it because honestly, I feel like now, especially, nudes just like aren't that big a deal anymore. No. Everyone has them and everyone gets them leaked somehow.
The one thing I do love, like whenever we watch this back, is like that's the old Instagram, like how it used to look with the blue and the script at the top. Like I think it's so funny to see.
It's the camera. It's the brown camera. It's the app. Oh, I love that. But yeah, so Katie owns that ass. Ha, Bubba.
But she's
But
not taking any action with that
no, we're not
ass.
having any sex with that ass. But they do get flowers from Ken and Lisa. Um, so they call and say thank you. And Lisa, of course, asks about Max, which is how you know if they touch Max, they're dead. They're out of a job. They're out of a house. She'll come kill him.
If they touch him, but like Katie and Schwartz
If they
are
let something
recruited
happen.
to be his like parents. It's like, did he take his meds? Is he drinking? Like,
I sent
you
you
are
these
now his
flowers
babysitter.
for a reason. And if anything happens to Max, you two are personally responsible.
I want him back in one piece with all the pills that he should have taken, like gone. And
I love that. I wrote, Max is not only the second favorite, but he's not allowed to have any fun on vacation.
I get it though. This was making me think about college. Like when people would be on antibiotics, you can't drink or they don't work. Drink.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I kind of feel this with Lisa. She's like, is he drinking? And it's like, oh, I love how like Katie kind of dances around and she's like, I'm not really sure.
He was on the other end of the table and he goes to bed early, I think.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to out my friend or like my
ish.
Yeah.
Well, if you out Max, you're just a dick because Max is just there. He's like the nicest dude, right?
Yes. Also, but you're also not going to risk your job by lying to Lisa. So you're like vague responses and I don't know a thing.
Yeah, but how lame is it to be like, actually, Lisa, your son is drinking, like to tattle on the kid.
That is something that Jax would do.
Yeah, but he's not gonna hurt Max either. Like everyone just loves Max. He has no problems with anyone but maybe Peter, because Peter tells him he can only have 5-minute breaks.
When he's clocked into stir, Peter's the only one who has problems.
So then we're back at the gym with the people working out here. Scheana brings up the conversation with Ariana and says that Sandoval's been pissing her off lately. Thank God she's not going on that hike. And Brittany's like, speaking of the hike, in other news, Lala's here. Like, what a transition.
Like, okay, so we're teeing up our 2 problems, quote unquote, of this episode.
And Jax looks so worried. The producers did not tell him we were talking about Lala. He was like, what?
I don't think Jax has really got his story straight is his problem. He hasn't figured out how to spin this, because he does need Lala's side to spin this.
Jax is a good liar when he has his story, but he hasn't figured out his story yet, which makes him the bad liar. Because now Brittany doesn't like to hear that Lala was flirting with Jax. Even though he never crossed the line, Lala doesn't seem to have respect for herself or other women, which Brittany, shut the fuck up.
This is really not like aging well of like the blame the woman thing. It's not super shitty.
Yeah. But Jax then says he has a clean conscience. Yeah. He's a clean conscience. But if Lala better not fucking say anything. Then it goes away.
I don't like how it's just like, we need to talk to Lala. Like Lala's clearly the problem, instead of being like, Jax, what did you do to like, what was your involvement? It feels like we have never gotten a real conversation of Brittany asking Jax anything. And that's what bothers me. I totally understand wanting to talk to Lala to get her side of the story.
Yeah.
But there's never been a Jax moment.
I don't love being like, because Brittany does say, right, Jax has never given her like a reason for her not to trust him. And I'm like, you've known him for 3 months. Of course he hasn't. And also, you just lived with him.
You have no idea what's been happening while you've been in Kentucky.
Yeah. So she automatically is like, it must be Lala's fault. And it's no, just because no one's given you a reason to
just because you haven't found out all the reasons you should distrust him
doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
So now we go for a hike. Tom Sandoval, being Tom Sandoval, did a lot of research on Hawaii, and he learned that hiking was a really big activity.
Dude, I'm like, thanks, Captain Obvious. This is where I'm like, Sandoval, just shut the fuck up.
So he brought a knife in case.
Oh my God. And it's like attached to his leg. I'm like, you're such a fucking loser. I'd push you over in a second.
He's not an outdoorsy person at all.
No, he just loves a costume. So it's like, this is his costume. He's like, my hiking costume. I have boots and I have a knife on my leg.
He is hiker. That is his character today. But they do find like a fun, cool little waterfall to swim in, and they have Speedos. And, usually trips are for Stassi's birthday, but now it's Sandoval and Jack's birthday, and they're not going to say it's my fucking birthday.
Oh, I
So
want them to, though.
everybody shut the fuck up.
It's my fucking birthday.
I love how as Sandoval's saying it, they cut to Stassi saying it in Vegas, and it's just my fucking favorite. So Lala and Faith, being Lala and Faith, they're gonna take their tops off in the waterfall. Titties out. Let the titties go, whatever she says. But mostly they huddle around each other. They're not like really walking out of the
water. I was gonna say they're
it.
like in the water, and it's not like
it's like tasteful nudes.
Kind of.
Look, I don't think I know I would probably not ever do this just because this is like not my thing. But I don't know honestly if I'd be bothered if other people did this.
I think the only reason it bothers me is because they're not close enough with this group to be able to pull this type of thing. Like, you don't know me and my fiance or my boyfriend well enough. Like, you just came into this group. Like, I think this is your first trip. Why? I don't know. I feel like they could have asked or like mentioned it. Like, hey guys, like talk to the girls. Like, does this bother you? I don't know. I just don't think they're very considerate.
I think if everyone was like tops out, I'd be like, yeah, like that's fine.
Think of this like Stassi's birthday. The girls alone go and do it together, and it's like a thing. So you build like camaraderie.
Jeremy was there.
Okay. But you build like camaraderie, and like it's all of us together. Like,
but yeah, it's all of them. Plus they've known like Jeremy or those servers for a long time, right?
But nobody's dating them either, really.
Yeah, and you do it like all together. This was just like two girls doing it.
It also creates an us versus them thing. And so I think Lala's just creating drama. And I kind of think she wants the attention of that drama. Like, I think she's doing this very intentional to like piss them off.
I probably wouldn't be. I'd be like an Ariana or Brittany. Neither of them seemed like that mad about it. They're just kind of like whatever. Which would probably be where I was, just because if I'm dating someone, we're both gonna probably look at the boobs. Yeah, I would just be like, these are the only boobs you touch.
I was about to say, like, yeah, I think if you are, like, Lala kind of has a point. I think if you are secure enough in your relationship, it really shouldn't be a problem.
But I would want to be there.
Yeah,
I think that's the other issue is Katie was like, well, I wasn't there, so I don't actually know what was happening, Yeah. Even if everyone's like, it was fine, it's like, well, how do I know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I see both sides. I think it's the
unknown of Lala is why they're like pissed. If it's like, if Stassi was doing this like last year, I don't think anybody would have cared.
Yeah, I think everyone would have followed though. If Stassi was like, take your tops off, like everyone would have just taken their tops off. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't care.
I think I'd be like slightly peeved, but I wouldn't like carry it for the rest of the trip. I'd be like, that's annoying. And then like you move on.
What was the point of that? Yeah. Okay, so they tits out for themselves. Jax is gonna look, but he's not gonna let Brittany know he's looking, which I think is worse. I bet Tom and Ariana were both like, look, boobs.
Yes. And like Schwartz, when he gets home later, is like, I was just looking around and I saw him, like I wasn't stopping and staring.
Plus Schwartz says like they've all seen boobs, right? They were all models, they all have long-term relationships, they've all hooked up with other people, right? We've all seen boobs.
Yes,
it's not like boobs are gonna automatically make men go hard and like have to leave their women and these shirtless women.
There's other problems if that does happen.
yeah but like boobs, plus like porn's a thing, everyone sees boobs.
And like they were like swimming around, like we said, it wasn't them just like walking around naked. Like,
Schwartz makes a good point. No one's like, oh man, boobs. Everyone's like, oh, boobs.
Yeah, you like turned over and you're like, oh, they're there.
Boobs. Yeah. So Scheana and Cher are on the beach. They can't drink on the beach, so they have tequila and they're like these tampon things. I've seen them before.
Yeah, you can't like openly like have a bottle.
For a beer on the beach. Hopefully Shay can master moderation as he takes the first tampon shot.
Oh my gosh. She's like, take every other shot. And I'm like, that's not how
Oh
it
my God.
works.
That's what she says. Instead of doing every shot, do every other shot. Instead of doing 3 beer bongs, only do 1.
I'm like, that is
No.
not how it works.
That's not how addiction works, my girl.
You don't get to be like, okay, I'm going to be a low maintenance alcoholic today.
Because you know what? If everyone has 10 shots and you have 5, you're still going to be fucking hammered after 5 shots. If everyone does 6 beer bongs, but you only do 3, you're wasted too.
Think about how shots work. Like when you're out, everybody isn't like, okay, shot number 1 for the group. Okay, Shay, when we all do shot number 2 together,
Shay, we're doing shot number 2.
Yeah, like, okay, Shay's on even numbers. Like you take shots randomly. So like, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
Be like,
Peter buys you a shot. Jax buys you a shot.
Yeah, when is the like pause shot? Because you won't go up to a thing and be like, oh, thanks for the shot. I'm going to throw it away.
Yeah, I actually can't have that shot, but come back in 10, the next round you do, even if it's in 2 minutes, I'll join that one.
Like this logistically doesn't happen.
This did not age well for Scheana. She looks horrible. She should never date someone with addiction.
I hate how she talks about
be a part of this.
I hope she like looks back and like, this is a growing moment for her.
Horrifying it is.
Yeah.
Katie joins them with sunscreen tequila. Super fun. So are they just taking straight tequila? Like they're just sipping on straight tequila.
So because that thing's so tiny, you'd be done with your mixed drink so quickly. Mix it.
Yeah. So whatever. They're all talking about how horrible the hike probably is. And the hike isn't that horrible. Schwartz does admit to Lala and says, I did see your boobs. And Lala's like, great. Congratulations.
I think he's trying to like take the drama out of it. And I appreciate him trying. He's
like, I'm not trying to hide anything.
Yeah. I'm acknowledging I saw your boobs and I'm going to tell Katie the same thing.
Jax is like, I saw no boobs. People have boobs these days besides Brittany.
There were boobs out. Didn't even notice. I was just staring at you, babe.
And then Schwartz is like, I did see the boobs, but I'm unfazed by them. Just like you're unfazed that I saw them. Okay, so Ariana does ask if Lala's boobs are real, and they're not, they're fake. And if there's one thing we know about Jax Taylor is he loves fake boobs. We know that. And so he is.
I love how Ariana's like, listen, have no problem with it, but I do have a question. Yeah. That's what I'm focused on. Are they fake?
That would be me. I'd be like, question.
I know. I'd be like, listen,
naturally.
I was staring at your boobs earlier because I was trying to figure out if they were fake or not. Can you just answer for me?
Schwartz did see them. I was full on staring. I couldn't look away. Are they real?
Yeah.
But so Schwartz asks about the Scheana conversation. So Ariana and Sandoval update him, and Schwartz cannot believe that his best friend is being attacked like this. Sandoval is the nicest, kindest human he's ever fucking met.
Oh my God, Schwartz.
This makes me so not believe it. Schwartz is so over the top. He's like,
I know.
You? My best friend.
He's kind of like Shay to Scheana, like, oh my God, I get to stand up and be there for my partner. It's like Schwartz is like, I'm going to be a really good friend today.
I am dating Tom Sandoval. I must stick up for him because he's where I sleep if Katie doesn't want
sex with me. I defend him at all costs today.
He's the only one laying me on this trip, so I must. So he did it. So now we're back at the beach. And then Scheana's talking about Ariana and her mom's conversation, and no one here thinks it's bad. No one sees anything wrong with it.
But I don't think Katie has seen the text, and
Katie doesn't care to.
I think Katie's sitting at this on this blanket and she's like, okay, we're gonna have a conversation about this. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, she really is,
she's different. I think Katie just like doesn't love Sandoval, so she's like, yeah, Sandoval fucking sucks, right? Like that's been her friend for a really long time. They do argue like brother and sister. We've seen it in when like the Kristen shit was happening, like Katie and Sandoval do argue just like Stassi and Sandoval do. But so I think it's more go.
No, sorry. Finish your
thought. I was just going to be like, I think she's just kind of like, yes, Sandoval sucks sometimes. So Ariana does too.
Yes. I think the way Scheana had the conversation with Ariana's mom is similar to how she's having it with Katie. Where like Scheana is the one driving all this talk about
the information,
the really powerful words about it. And the other person's just like kind of agreeing like, oh yeah, they are different.
Sandoval is self-centered, and Katie's like, hell yeah, he is. And
she's
like, and that's why I texted the mom.
Yeah. And she's like, and exactly. She's like, this will hold up in court. Katie said, sure.
So back to the height. Schwartz just cannot believe that anyone would come for generous Sandoval. Oh my God, amazing. He's
I'm like,
especially
Sandoval,
generous in the bedroom.
You are kind of proving their point right now.
I just love Schwartz is like, he is the most giving lover I've ever been with. And that Ariana's probably been with.
Yeah.
But Schwartz lets them know that Ariana, Ariana's a little snappy because she's like, who the fuck cares? And he's like, you are coming off a little like snappy, but you're
Ariana's
right.
Like, this is how I've always been. Like, nothing's different though.
Yeah, which is also true. Which is all we have seen it. It is consistent.
I feel like we are similar to Ariana, where it's like, no, I've always stood up for myself. You just didn't really mind it before.
Don't text my mom. It's because you're never if you're not on the receiving end, you don't care.
Yeah.
But the minute I'm snappy at you,
I was about to say, I think I was thinking about this as we've talked about it this entire episode. Like, I think the shift was the Kristen fight, and like Ariana really gave it to Scheana about the, like, whenever they were all talking about if Kristen should get invited. And so I think Sheena's like, oh, she was mean to me. She would never be mean to me. And it's like, no, Scheana, you've just been an asshole, and she's not taking it.
Also, yeah, she probably would have never fought with you about Kristen if she wasn't dating Tom Sandoval. But because she started dating Tom Sandoval, Kristen
the situation changed
and wished death upon her. So yeah, we're a little snappy sometimes.
And you did nothing about it all last season. So like, I already know you
stood up for her.
You won't have my back. So I know I have to stand up for myself in this situation.
Ridiculous. So we go back to the beach where Scheana's bitching about how Ariana's not her best friend anymore. And actually it's Katie. Like, who would have fucking thought that after 3 months, they're like besties.
I'm like, you are a fucking friendship hopper and I hate you, Scheana.
Because we see them, we see their fights. Like my favorite is still, my boyfriend is talking to the whore in there.
Or the get your nose out of it. And she's like, my nose is fine right here.
Fine right here. Thank you.
She like points to her nose and I'm like,
my nose is fine.
My nose is fine.
But Scheana and Katie talk every day and they still hang out. Whereas Sandoval and Ariana only hang out with each other, which like, I don't text anyone every day.
Well, okay, same. But also like, the way Scheana says that is like, Katie and Scheana don't spend time with their boyfriends and they're mad that Ariana does spend time with her boyfriend. So, like, you guys are also in relationships. Are you telling me you don't ever spend time with Shay or like one alone time with Shay? Just because she's not at your disposal every day or like has other priorities doesn't mean she's not a good friend or like that there's problems.
Just because Shay would rather be doing drugs than hanging out with you does not mean you have to fucking come for our house.
Like, you're mad that they want to spend time with each other and have a good relationship. I'm sorry, yours isn't that way.
They're friends.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just
hilarious.
It made me feel weird that like Scheana was like, she doesn't make time for us. She spends time with her boyfriend.
Also, maybe if Sandoval is out, Ariana doesn't want to hang out with you. Maybe she just wants to hang out with herself.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so we're back on the hike. Brittany goes up to Lala and says, can I talk to you for a second, girl?
Oh, Lordy.
Hey, girl. When you hear girl, either you don't know that person that well or you're about to get reamed.
Yeah.
There's one or the other. So Brittany brings up the Jax flirting and Lala's super calm. And she says she definitely crossed the line and she apologizes. She's like, I didn't realize that you guys were together. I guess that's on me.
Can I tell you my side of it though? Well, yeah, she's like, I did that for sure, but can I tell you what the situation really was? Like, why I kind of did that. And I appreciate that of like, give me the background of like what was actually going on.
Yeah, she owns it. She says, I crossed the line. And then Jax gets involved and he's like, well, Lala was really drunk.
Which I was like,
okay. And Lala's like, then this is when Lala says that Jax told her that him and Brittany weren't together. And Jax is like, no. How would you not know though? Like, I was texting someone. How did you not
know? From editing of all the times Jax said he wasn't in a relationship.
The receipts. Editing gave it to all of us.
It made me think, I was like, what happened whenever Brittany watched this when it went live? Like, what were her thoughts on that? Because your boyfriend is flat out lying And they edited in every single time he said he wasn't in a relationship. So you've already seen those scenes, but
I
like
don't
to
know.
see it again
I
next to
can't
his
wait for this
lie.
reunion. This
I
reunion is
just,
gonna be dope.
and I keep wondering, how long have they been in a relationship at this point when they're in Hawaii? Because if it's
Yeah.
not a strong relationship, I feel like this would rock it for me to be like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
you were telling people we weren't together.
Exactly. But instead, Brittany's like, no, we're together. And like, Jax is fine. And
And I
Jax
believe
is
what
like,
Jack says.
yeah, Jax is like, I never said that.
Mm.
You know, Brittany and I are obviously dating.
Who, me?
And Lala's kind of in like,
Never.
she's like, I would never lie. But Lala's kind of like in shock because she knows Jax is a fucking liar. And now he's like,
Well,
she's like kind of being attacked.
like I really thought whenever, because it was the three of them talking, like I really thought that like Jax would take his part. So then you're stunned and you don't know how to handle the situation. So I love how she
Yeah, you're just kind of like, oh.
didn't really say anything and was like, oh wow, like I feel like if she would have said anything, she would have been like grasping at straws and become defensive because she wouldn't have thought out what she should have said to get the point across to Brittany. So I like how later she pulls Brittany aside again and really thinks about what she needs to say and be like, listen, I want to talk more because I didn't get to say everything at the waterfall. Like I really thought he was going to take his side, and I'm kind of shocked that like he didn't say more.
Exactly. And so Lala does kind of take a step back. She says she knows what she's done, but she has respect for Brittany.
Yes.
And like for Brittany coming to her woman to woman.
Yep.
So
I know you're in a relationship now. I'm not going to do anything.
Great. It's not going to happen. And Jax is like, great, let's go, Brittany, get away.
We're done.
Goodbye.
We're done. All right. We're never
Lala,
going to talk about this again.
Fucking loser.
Lock it up.
So then we cut to James and Max by the pool, Hawaii living. Max is drinking alcohol.
And this is when I thought about the antibiotics thing. I was like, oh, those aren't going to work.
Well, James wasn't going to let Max drink, but then he thought about it, and alcohol actually disinfects your mouth. We don't need antibiotics.
I feel like people said that all with COVID, and I'm like, I love the joke of it, but that is just not how life works.
That's not science. It's just fake news, everyone. Well, like, please don't.
I feel like we'd actually be dead if that was true.
Yeah. So James is super obsessed with Lala. Faith is super obsessed apparently with Max. So this could work out great in new sleeping arrangements for James mostly, but also apparently for Faith.
James trying so hard. I'm like, you're just desperate. Like he knows he has this very small window and he's trying to make it, but he's pushing too hard.
Want to know why Faith's obsessed with Max? Because Max doesn't give a fuck. He's just chilling.
He's chill. He's like, oh, you want to sit on this chair with me? Great. I'm not gonna like immediately start trying to make out with you.
Yeah, so Lisa calls because Lisa, anytime Max is involved, Lisa's right there.
I feel like Lisa has like a radar that like Faith and Max are together, and it's like, wait, let me call and get in there.
Let me call. Yeah, so she tells James not to drink so much. Max has no pain, but James loves Lisa because she loves Max so much, but also loves Pandora more. Anyway, so yeah. Lala and Faith are here. Max and Faith cuddling on their little bench. Lala then shares the convo she had with Brittany, but tonight she's going to expose Jax because she's thought about it.
We're not letting it go like this.
Katie and Tom are reunited. Katie was at the beach with Scheana and Shay. Schwartz says the waterfall wasn't romantic, but he did see boobs, but he's telling her because he's honest and everyone saw them. So it wasn't just him seeing boobs.
And I wasn't staring at them. I just was looking around for like Peter and a Speedo and just happened to see some boobs floating.
Yeah. He's being honest, but all Katie hears is topless boobs. So Katie then gets mad, and this is why her and Lala will never be friends because Lala's a sexual being, which weird.
I'm like, what?
Weird thing to say.
Like,
we're all sexual beings.
Not Katie.
Not Katie.
Like, they're not having sex. Yeah.
She is sex available 24/7 and wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, they're polar opposites here.
Katie thinks that, Lala should have more respect for people in relationships. And then that's when Schwartz was like, great, let's talk about something else. So those texts that Scheana sent Ariana's mom were bullshit.
Wild. Yeah.
And then Katie's like, no, I actually don't agree. And then Tom's like, fuck, I thought this was going to help my case, but it doesn't. So
they like legit get into an argument.
It's basically Schwartz saying, no, Sandoval's like really nice. And like Scheana had no right to text Ariana's mom. And then Katie's saying, no, Sandoval fucking sucks. And so does Ariana. So if we want to text
it's
parents,
funny because the fight they're having is like, Katie wants to prove that like what Scheana said in the text is true, which we've already agreed, like a lot of that is true.
1000%.
And Schwartz is like, she should have never texted the mom. And it's like they're fighting two different things, so they don't align. And I'm like, you guys are both right. Scheana never should have done the action, but everything she's saying is pretty accurate.
My favorite is when Katie goes, that's a Tom Schwartz interpretation. He goes, no, Tom Schwartz is reasonable and diplomatic. But yeah, they basically fight and they still don't have sex and they probably never will.
Oh, I know. Katie's like, I need a shower. And he's like, can I come? And she's like, no.
She's like, no, now we're in a fight for two things.
Oh my God. You saw boobs and you're on Sandoval's side.
Speaking of boobs, we go to dinner and the first thing Schwartz says when he sits down is, we saw boobs today.
He's like trying to take the shock out of like the whole thing to be like, listen, everyone, let's get it out on the table. So it's not a problem.
Sheena Shea, what'd you miss at the waterfall? There were boobs. But I told Katie about the boobs and I told Lala I saw the boobs too.
So like, I just want to let you know,
I'm not in trouble.
That I saw the boobs and I told everyone about the boobs because you're the person who talks. Don't text my mom that I saw the boobs. I'll tell her when I get home.
Everyone's seen the boobs. Shay, you didn't see the boobs. Good on you, my dude. No boobs.
You didn't go. You didn't see boobs.
So this is when Katie turns to Lala and Faith and goes, do you think it's appropriate to show your boobs? And this is what I don't like. This is where I'm like team Lala. Like,
but this is the only reason I said the problem is because they aren't close enough that like, I feel like you have to know your place as Lala and Faith to be like, listen, I don't want to cause problems. So I'm just not going to do this.
But no, Lala's like, are you upset by it?
I love how chill she is. She's like, tell me what your problem is. Like, let's talk this out.
Yeah, she's like, let's have an adult conversation. This 21-year-old woman. And Katie's like, you think it's appropriate to show my husband some boobs?
Like, if you're confident in your relationship, it really shouldn't be a problem.
Oh my God, I love that. And she says, I encourage everyone to go topless.
Yeah.
Great.
You should have done it with us. Like that. I do love that. She's very like female empowerment of like, come, it's free.
Everyone.
Let's do it together.
If Katie got topless in front of Lala's man, she wouldn't care, which I think is why Lala's like, why does it matter if all women want?
I think I
think in theory she wouldn't care.
I think in that situation she wouldn't care, but if it was like a Lisa Vanderpump Pool situation and Lala wasn't there, I think she would care. I think if it was more intimate, she would care.
I guess we'll never know because I don't know if it ever happens. Honestly, I can't even predict.
I don't think it would ever be on camera, but I
don't think Katie would ever really go topless just for fun.
I think there's certain situations Lala would care about, but this type, no.
But so Scheana also gets involved, which I want to be like, because she's like, it's just not appropriate with other people's men. And I just want to be like, Scheana, didn't you get your start as a mistress, my girl? Like, you got to stop.
And I want to be like, you weren't there and your man wasn't there. So just shut the fuck up, Scheana. You don't need to comment on everything as I'm commenting on everything.
And then Ariana says she didn't have a problem with it because they were underwater and they were away from the group when they were doing it. And the dudes were in Speedos. So like, who cares? And Lala goes,
I did like that comparison of like, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. And I mean, Lala then goes, it's not like I showed my pussy to everyone.
You're gasolining up this fire that now you're getting a scenario where you could have been completely nude.
But then, Katie basically says she doesn't trust her man, which is where I was like, there it is. There, Tom. But Schwartz actually did the thing. He let you know.
That's the thing is he was the most trustworthy about it, in my opinion.
Of all of it. Yeah. So we cheers to free the nipple. Scheana and Shay had the fuck kind of sex, the fuck kind. Jax has been too tired to have sex this whole time. But that's when he really likes Brittany because he's in Hawaii with a woman in his bed and he's not having sex.
And he's like, it's hard to take that as a compliment. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You really like me, so you won't sleep with me?
Says he's got nothing to hide though. He just loves Brittany. That's it. That's the story.
Sure.
And so Brittany goes, I trust him and I have no reason not to. And I go, famous last words, girl.
Oh, yeah. I'm like this. I want to know what your thoughts are watching this back now.
So then this is where Lala's like, hey, Brittany, can I steal you away for a second? And Jax is sweating.
It's crazy you're talking about trust. Let's talk about why you shouldn't trust him.
Oh my God, this man, this sweaty old man, he is just freaking out in his chair. So Lala says she was hoping that Jax would man up and tell Brittany. But basically, Jax was also flirting and he said that he wanted to fuck Lala and Lala did play into it, but she also didn't know they were in a relationship because she never knew. Jax said they weren't. So that's the whole thing. And Brittany just cannot believe that Jax would do this. She cannot believe because Jax has never done this to her in the past 6 months she's known him.
And I've never seen the other episodes of this show that prove that this is exactly who Jax is.
Yeah, okay. We should watch the show of the dude we're dating first off.
Remember even that one season he said he was like a truther and then he was lying the whole time anyways?
Yeah. I'm actually the biggest
I'm a truther. But everything I'm saying is truth is actually a lie still.
Yeah, but you don't know that. So I'm the truther. That's it. Even though you do know I'm lying.
Can't prove it's a lie. I'm a truther.
Got me. So Brittany kind of turns it on Lala and says she can't believe that Lala would disrespect her relationship. And Lala's like, I'm not gonna now that I know you're in a relationship.
Yes. Yeah. So Brittany, I think that's insane to say that. Like, you were disrespecting my relationship. And it's like but in my mind, there wasn't a relationship. I was fed that there was not a relationship, that you were not coming here. So what the fuck did I do wrong? And to me, he was single.
Yeah. So Brittany says she knows Jax loves her, but at the same time, Jax shouldn't be doing this shit. So the solution is probably just for like Lala to stop flirting. So
like, there will be a million Lalas in this world.
Lala's pissed and she calls Brittany. She goes, talk is cheap, honey boo boo.
I think she said honey. I think she just said honey. And then
do you think it was cut?
No, I think the initial comment was honey, and then the response was like, don't you dare call me honey boo boo.
Oh, do you think that was it? That was so I don't remember, but that was so funny. But Lala's
like,
pissed.
Remember honey boo boo?
Yeah. What a time that was. But Lala's pissed because all the blame is falling on her when really it should fall on Jax too. So then Brittany goes,
Lala is sitting there owning her part.
Yeah, so she's clearly telling the truth because she's like, I did do this, but it wasn't uncalled for. It's not like Jax was like, I am in a committed relationship and held up a rosary. And I still was like, I am the devil. I must make out with you.
Yeah, I will get you into a situation. Yeah, like, let me tempt you and like try and get you out of this relationship.
Brittany girl, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's not just one person putting up a smoke signal. Okay. Both people are on fire. So Brittany goes to talk to Jax and Brittany tells Jax what Lala said and that Jax was going to fuck her. And Jax is like, me? I would never. Kristen,
we're in a relationship. We are in a committed relationship. I would never say that. You knew I was in a relationship.
Other people were watching. They were there at the table. Why would I say that if other people were around? Which, like, honestly, yes, but also you did.
But again, we know Jax so well that is actually his MO.
Yeah. Why would I do that? So he throws Lala completely under the bus. Also, he's kind of calm and he's just like, if I was really trying to hide something, I would be going crazy right now. And I'm not going crazy. So I must be telling the truth.
He does that so well about like telling you why he's a truther and all the reasons why
I'm a truther. So then Brittany's like, cool, let's call over Lala. And Jax is like, I don't know why we need to do this, but fine, if you want to.
But then he starts to freak out about different things. And I'm like, Brittany, why can't you pick up on this? Clearly he is lying.
I would be suspicious of both of them. I don't know why we're only
if we can't talk as a trio, we got problems.
Yeah. So Jax is throwing Lala under the bus. He's a damn good liar. Scheana then walks in and Lala's like, oh my God,
has to be involved.
She's, what's going on? So Lala's like, oh my God, you were there. And so Brittany's like, did Jax and Lala
Well,
both flirt?
Lala's like, you were there, but you didn't hear what he was whispering, because they're like arguing about the very specific, like, I want to fuck you comment.
I want to fuck you. Yeah.
And he didn't say like, I want to fuck you in those words, but he was alluding to like, oh, I would really like, I wish we could, like all this stuff. It was definitely like
Yeah.
1 foot over the line.
So Scheana says, but Scheana saw them flirting. Like she knows. But in her interview, she says she's gonna have Jax's back. So she says
so much.
She didn't hear the whispering, but she saw him squirming, meaning that Lala was touching him under the table and he was trying to get her to stop.
I'm like, why would you actually want to do this to another girl? Could you imagine, Scheana, if somebody did this to you?
No, I'd be so mad. I hate when women turn their back on other women like this.
Like, so obviously, if you really don't know, then that's okay to be like, I was at the table and I have no clue what he said. Like, I don't know if he did or didn't say that. So like, I can't vouch for any of this.
Yeah.
But she's like telling a false narrative.
Yeah. She's straight up being like, fuck Lala for going topless. So I'm going to completely destroy her character. Just like I did Ariana and Sandoval.
100%. I don't understand the like benefit of this for Scheana.
She's just being a bitch.
Can you imagine if I went and saw Shay doing drugs and I was like, nope, he's clean. He's doing great on that moderation of drinking. Definitely no drugs.
Also, do you ever think like, not only is Brittany gonna watch Jax flirt with Lala and then lie about it, but now she's gonna watch Scheana lie about it.
I always wonder, why are people so willing to lie on camera? Like, I bet they can't say like Brittany can't sit down and be like, listen, this is probably all on camera. Like, tell me what actually happened. You know, I'm gonna see it later. But
I wish Lala would have been like, well, it's all on camera, so you can just ask Bravo.
They can talk about it.
I know, but
that's breaking the fourth
That would be
wall.
my comeback. My comeback would be like,
I feel like, but
you could on camera.
You could basically say it like, the truth will come out. You know, I'll figure it out. Like, allude to obviously
the truth will come out, and we will talk about it later.
Like, you might as well be honest now. Like, the truth will come out.
Yeah. So Lala's done, and she does tell Brittany, she's like, I told you the truth. I have nothing to like say from here. Like, you want to believe what you want to believe, fine. So she's so upset because she's telling people the truth, and she's in the streets and she's crying and she feels gained up on by everyone. And then the episode ends. So next time we're still in Hawaii. The girls are again coming for Lala. Stassi's back in LA and she's hanging out with Kristen, which that is about to be my roller coaster of emotions. I don't know how I feel about it. And then Jax gets arrested, which made me giggle. So
I love that. They're all like sitting outside and they're like, he's in jail. And I'm like,
who's going to post bond?
Which like,
who cares?
I can't imagine. Well, Alicia, like, I can imagine if like you went and got arrested, I'd be like, I don't have money for this shit.
Yeah. What the fuck kind of bond does she want me to pay?
Oh my God.
Especially Brittany. Brittany hasn't been on this show for that long. She doesn't have the payroll.
And it's like she has access to his bank account to like go get the money.
Payroll.
Like, Sandoval, like, I know we were all shitting on you about how you suck, but can you pay up?
Sandoval's the only one that would show up with the money.
Well, I want him to be like, I'm all about me. So like, sorry, no.
Oh my God, Scheana, you can't leave here without Jax. I'm actually all about myself these days. So I'm going to go.
I would do that. I'm not joking. I would do that. If you're going to fucking say I'm all about me, you know what? I'm going to prove you right. And when you need me, I'm not going to be there for you.
I'd be pissed. I would do it. I'm petty like that.
Because like, I'm going to point out every time that you now call upon me and how I'm not.
God, I hope that happens. I can't really remember, but I am excited. Okay, let's do accepted and blocked really quick. Who do we want to see? Who do we not want to see? I know who I don't want to see.
Yeah.
Are we blocking the same person again?
Probably. You go.
Scheana.
Oh, I'm going to do Jax because like, I don't like the blatant lie. But yeah, you're right. Scheana's a good one because she just really is a fucking asshole person.
Oh my God.
Good people.
The worst.
And she's backing like the shitty people.
She's just like, she has no loyalty to anyone. She like cannot apologize, but kind of apologizes. She's like horrible at arguments. She has to be involved in everything. And then she like lies for Jax on camera, which will be exposed. Like, I don't understand.
I don't understand why she's like standing up for this. So hard.
Also, the addiction stuff like grinds my gears.
You're right. You know what? I'm
Just
switching
bad.
back over to Scheana. You convinced me.
We're
I mean,
doing
fuck
Scheana,
Jax too, but like, yeah,
but like
I'm on the Scheana
mostly
train.
Scheana. Okay, who are you accepting?
I'm accepting Ariana. I
Oh,
think
nice.
she's just really proud and confident, and she does lift up other women. She doesn't make it like a thing that they're topless. She's just like, go you. Like, are they real? Like, are they not? Cool. Whatever you want to do, I'm all in. Like,
I was
she
staring.
doesn't want
Yeah.
to. So it's like, but like she doesn't make it a thing. And then I love like
Yeah.
how cool, calm, and collected, like you said, she's had in that argument. She's like, we have receipts. We're not putting words in your mouth. We're reading exactly what you said. It's really fucked up. And like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. It sucks that other people can't be as calm, cool, and collected as she is in an argument. Because I think that like, you know, doesn't help anything. But she's great. I'm gonna accept Lala. Listen, I know it's a little controversial. She didn't do too much, but I think she's just here to genuinely have a good time. I think she's young and kind of stupid, and all these idiots did a bunch of dumb shit in their 20s. She wants to go topless, like fine, whatever. She's just living her life. She owns it. She's not sitting here being like, well, your man was like, she was like, yeah, I was topless. If you want to be topless, let's be topless. She openly talked to Brittany, had a great conversation, and then later said, by the way, I do want you to know that this is happening, once she got her thoughts together. And she's telling the truth, and it will be exposed.
I like that she just owns her own part and stuff, and she is not putting blame on other people, but she's trying to get people to own their part. Like, she's like, I'm going to be topless. If you want to be topless too, great. If that's a problem, that's your problem, your relationship problem, not mine. So like, she's going to shed a light on what your problems are. And same with the Brittany Jax thing. Like, yeah, I flirted with him, but here's like another part of the situation, and you guys need to have a conversation about his part of it.
Exactly. Okay. Well, this was fun. Please join us for our after show. We have lots to discuss.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, guys.